Guys, what is going on? Welcome back to a brand new video. Something really cool here today is that we're actually at Paracon. It's the Ocean State Paracon. We have a bunch of friends inside that we're going to go see, and I'm super excited to actually introduce to you them here on this channel. You've seen a bunch of them on Grit, and that's where, along that journey and stuff like that, is where I met everybody. And I'm just super grateful to have this opportunity to come here today, check everything out. We're gonna see Andrea again. I don't know if I'm gonna get her in video, but you know, see all the booths. I'm super excited to. But yeah, we're at Plainridge Casino, and yeah, let's see what Paracon has to offer. Let's get in there. I'm super excited, and yeah, see you on the
We don't know her. She owns the Conjuring House. I mean, I'm assuming you know her. If you don't, all right, now you do. It's Maddie. Oh, what's that? You got a pin?
Yeah, well, sticker.
Keep believing, Mr. Haunted. I like that. I like that. So I hear you guys told me that Joe's here.
Joe's here.
I didn't even know. Joe's chilling beyond the dark. I didn't even know he was here. You're gonna find him. But this is pretty much Paracon in Rhode Island. It's just a bunch of booths.
It's the Ocean State Paracon.
The Ocean
State Paracon.
Oh,
but it's not in the Ocean State this year. It's just right next to it in Massachusetts.
Yeah, it's in a casino. I didn't even know about this casino.
So maybe we'll no.
Oh, the Velhara house. That's cool. Hey, well, that's fun.
Check that out. That is sick.
There you go. It's a little. What are they squishy? I thought they were squishy for a minute.
I wish.
That would have been nice. Hell yeah! Wait, you did a book or a movie coming out?
No, this is on Netflix. Hostage to the Devil. I think it's still on Netflix.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Hostage to the Devil.
You'll have to check that out.
Hey, what's going on? What's up? Give us a tour.
Give you a tour?
Yeah, give us a tour.
You want to do fire truck?
Fire truck. So this came from Pennsylvania. A little boy had it, and he claimed that there was a sick spirit boy, a spirit of a boy who was like terminally ill, and he was describing things that a little boy shouldn't know about sickness, and said that it was his fire truck, and he kept saying the boy's wearing a dress. So we're like, a dress? So we're looking it up. We start showing pictures of sick kids, and he says that's it was a hospital gown. So this kid was describing things he shouldn't know. So the fire truck was moving around, lighting up by itself, and just really freaking everybody out. So an unsuspecting toy could have something with it, and that definitely does.
Wait, so where'd you guys even get this fire truck?
So different cases that we worked on. Pretty much, at least all of the stuff that we brought today has all been cases that we worked on.
And like by case, you mean like almost like how like for viewers at home, like the Warrens when they would go to Conjuring House, they would take the item back.
Right.
Yes,
so yeah, people call us up, and
It could last weeks.
Yeah, and you know, the last resort is taking an object because we don't want, because a lot of this stuff means a lot to people, and we've always told people we've been nicknamed the foster home for haunted objects because we always tell them if you ever want it back, you can have it back. But out of the hundreds of objects we have, nobody's called to get this thing back. Nobody.
No one wants it back.
And do we believe everything is haunted or has an attachment? It hasn't shown itself for us. I mean, a majority of them have, but I think a lot of people, I mean, psychological effects and stuff like that can definitely play into it. But, you know, we tell the stories. We want to keep the history alive and keep the people's stories alive and just share what's going on. And people seem to like it, so that's what
I think it's good.
Yeah.
All right. How about you pick one and I tell you?
Well, dude, the clown's already sticking out.
Okay, so you feel something with the clown.
Something about this clown right here.
This clown came from Pennsylvania also. A gentleman had purchased this clown at a market, and he didn't really know why he wanted to buy it. He just bought it because he felt like he was supposed to.
Yep.
So he paid a couple dollars, he brought it home and sat it on the nightstand next to his bed. He wakes to the sound of laughing, and he says it sounds like it's coming from everywhere but nowhere. So he's looking left, it sounds like it's coming from the right. It's echoing all throughout his house. So he freaks out, he sits up, and he looks over at the nightstand, and the clown reportedly moved towards him, like slid towards him.
That clown?
Supposedly, yes. So
but deadly.
he got so scared, he jumped out of bed, drove to his brother's house, which was like 45 minutes, an hour away, and made his brother hold him there for the night, like stayed with him. Till his brother came back, wrapped it up in a t-shirt, left it on the front porch, and we got the call to come pick it up.
and you just picked it up. So what do you do when you take these objects and pick it up? Is there anything you can do to cleanse it, or?
Well, the first thing we always do is put it in what we call a quarantine period. We put it in a room by itself in the museum, put cameras on it, equipment, and just monitor it for like 2 weeks and see what happens.
Let us know if it's something negative or just somebody that we think is a person.
Right, and most of the time it does nothing. It does nothing during this period, and we find that when you move the object from one location to another, it kind of has to get acclimated to its new environment.
Right.
And Satori and myself, people always ask, what religion are you? What you use to protect you, and things like that. And we're definitely different. Satori takes a more metaphysical approach. I was brought up Roman Catholic, so prayer is a big thing for me, and surrounding yourself in white light and putting walls up and stuff like that. But everybody we found, you have to do whatever you believe in. I mean, Satori can do whatever she does, but it probably won't work for you because you might not believe in the same thing.
True.
So intentions are everything. So whatever you believe in, just do that.
I believe that.
Yeah.
That's what I believe in too.
Yeah.
What else do you want to know about?
So, besides this piece, which is amazing, what is going on with that?
So these braces are from Michigan, and we believe they're from the 1930s. They're children's polio braces.
Okay.
So a child wore these when he was sick with polio, he or she. The only reason I say he is because people have claimed to feel the presence of a young boy with this item, and it's shifted since we brought it in the museum. It was more of a historical thing. We were just interested more in the history of it, but it started moving, and people started freaking out a bit. So.
Jeez.
Yep. Yes.
That is sick. So you guys have like a thing on it. Like each piece has, you've written it down.
Yeah, little information about it, yep.
With all the info, guys, I'll go through the whole thing. If you guys want to read any of it, you can. And we can go, you guys can read it, see the object, and I'll make sure that you guys get to see all of that.
I'm going to try to pronounce it as best as possible.
Okay.
But this is a vintage Golek weighing wooden rod puppet. It's from Indonesia and Bali, origin Bali. And its story was actually pretty simple. The puppet was purchased by a couple, and they were vacationing in Bali. Then they had brought it home, and they said that they both, oh my God.
Travel problems, a lot of travel.
Yes, travel problems, flights. They were losing their luggage on the way home, things like that. They were losing a lot of their stuff. So we thought it was a coincidence, And then they started noticing that it was more of like everything bad was happening when they had the doll, so they felt that it was all associated with this doll. They also did claim that they saw a dark cloud following them since they purchased the puppet, and they did notice that the puppet moved a little bit. So it shifted, since they brought it home.
Even like the masks are just so creepy looking.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this man.
That's the again, you want to be
All from around the world too. Yeah. Everybody has a different culture,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. That doll's from was made in
These
I
are
believe
recreations
1900.
of
That's the
Abby
original
and Andrew
description
Borden's
tag on it, which is
skulls
cool.
from
We did some
Yeah, I was
experiments with
looking at
that.
them.
We
I
saw
was like,
shadow
that's
figures running around it and stuff like that on
Really?
camera. Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yep.
So the doll, it looks like kind of like a puppet.
Oh yeah. So that was modeled. That's a ventriloquist doll.
Yeah.
And it was modeled after a comedian named W.C. Fields. That's what it's designed after. So if you look him up, he looks very similar to that. But the family that had it, the person wanted to get into trying ventriloquism.
They just wanted to have fun.
Yeah, and he sat it down. I think he got it at a secondhand store or something. Sits it down and notices that the mouth is moving by itself. So to move the mouth, you have to pull a string, and it's pretty hard. You have to. It has some force behind it. So it really freaked him out. And ever since that, he does not want to get into ventriloquism at all.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
From it now. Yeah, creepy. Definitely creepy.
So I think everyone's asking too, 'cause it's all haunted items and stuff. Just so to have them. What if someone coming in, hang out, nothing with paranormal related, they come in and start touching these items?
It depends. We found that it affects people differently. If you're more in tune with everything, we believe everybody is sensitive in a way. I mean, have you ever had a moment where you're sitting in a room and you know the phone's going to ring, and then all of a sudden it rings, or you know your friend's going to text you, and then boom, they text you. We think that's some intuition coming into play, and everybody has a different level of that. And I think the higher that intuition is, the more you might be affected by some of these objects if you're around them. Touching them, it could be a big thing. I mean, we're definitely not the only museum out there, and everybody does things differently, which is great. You have to do what you believe in. Yeah. And some people, they believe that you shouldn't touch these things at all, not with your bare hands or anything like that, which is totally respectable. You should only touch them if you feel comfortable doing it. We feel comfortable doing it. We have haven't had any problems with it. But most of the stuff we don't think is bad. We just think it was stuff that people loved when they were alive. They really loved it, and they're just checking in on it in the afterlife. They're not always with it. They're not trapped inside of it. But think of something that you love a lot, and maybe you want to check in on it once you pass away.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, just see how it's doing.
Especially with the older times, too.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, they cherish things a little bit more than we do now.
And unfortunately, that generation, a lot of their stuff is ending up in yard sales and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And maybe they check in on it and they don't like the person that owns this now. So now they're going to start causing some havoc in their house and making them scared because they don't like the person.
That's
and then we get it and everything's perfectly fine because maybe they like the community. Maybe we treat everything with respect. We try to treat everything nice. We always talk to them. It may sound crazy, but we're always saying good morning and good night to everything and just acting like they're still alive because every single object has a case file to it. Every single one.
That's so cool.
Every single one. So this all is real people. You know?
So guys, as you just saw, I'm going to show you the item. And then if you want to pause and read up on what they have, that is the fire truck. You guys heard a little bit about this. That is the clown figure. And like I said, if you guys want to, you can pause the video and you can go back. And what's really cool about this is that I'm not sure if this is a horse, deer. This one I'm actually interested in. Even Bigfoot sightings. Interesting. Bridgewater Triangle statue. So I don't know exactly because it's kind of similar. It looks more, it's like a deer jaw with its teeth right there. But that one is super creepy, and that's probably one of my most favorite. But so we have these right here, and those are the braces. You guys can read that again. I don't know. Oh, okay. I don't know if this is one, or maybe it's this.
Yeah, right on the window, right?
It's all that.
It's outside.
That is really cool. So it's like a big statue holding a statue, or maybe it's the whole thing. So we got these heads right here. Oh, I'm gonna try and get the glare for you as best as I can.
Yeah, I got it.
And then we have, you know, all this stuff. This is just a cap. And there's that. Weird, crazy looking mask.
Yeah, I don't think I do have one. I think.
And you guys heard about this one, but just in case you want to read it. Haunted around the world. More just crazy dolls. And I'm actually going to go back after and read these all too. Unless I read them now, which I probably actually will just do that. I don't know why I would go back in the video when I can do it now. And that's the doll that Cody was telling us with the original tag. I'm trying not to touch anything, dude, just because it's just that weird feeling, you know?
Oh, if you touch it, you're gonna like get possessed.
South American mask. There's that, and that thing is crazy. Just more masks, and this is where you guys know a little bit more about the Lizzie Borden. You know, Borden heads, 3D reconstruction. What's that? Lizzie Borden, Maplecroft now?
It's a nail from the house, probably.
Interesting. The Hinsdale house. I don't know actually about that one.
I've never heard of the Hinsdale.
But obviously you guys know the Conjuring House. What is this? Conjuring House nail? Oh, I'm like too zoomed in. We've seen the house though. They know about
I
that.
investigate there all the time.
Amityville.
It looks like you when you're there.
I was asking Cody about the doll, the ventriloquist doll. That thing is crazy.
Yeah.
Just open it up on people.
You know, this is more of a childlike spirit interaction. What's funny is the reason that a lot of people say they got a name Jade, but what's funny is on this tag it says "To Jade from Mommy Love You." It's an old tag.
Really?
And it makes me wonder if the spirit they are dealing with is Jade because it was never removed.
That's crazy. And the doll's name is Anna?
This one's Jade. This one's Anna.
Oh, I'm reading up backwards, yeah. So you guys just named it Jade. Or
Yeah, I never went, but
that's all dolls.
the girl.
Yeah, that thing is so creepy looking.
Everybody's creepy.
What are you talking about? He's handsome.
He's handsome?
Handsome.
He's handsome sitting right there, and that's it. So we got more dolls. The top 5 most haunted objects. And that is coming right here. These are their top 5. We're gonna take a peek at them right now. Maybe we'll see if Satori can give us a little quick rundown. Look at this. And like I said, guys, that's if you want to read that. This one is huge. It's like the size of Chase.
It's the size of Chase.
That's Chase's.
Chase cuddles with that.
So crazy. Like some of these things that could just be in a house like this, an old
you hear
house.
about
I didn't
this
hear
doll?
anything about it.
So
No.
this doll specifically was put on top of 3 Christmas trees, and they all burnt.
Really?
down. The first one, the family woke up the next morning when they put it on top to smoke. The tree was completely burnt. The doll was fine. The next time, they bought fire extinguishers. A few weeks later, again, they woke up to smoke, and the tree, they caught it on fire, and they put the fire extinguisher on it. And then the last time, their house burnt so bad to the point where they had to move, but the doll was perfectly fine. It was on
Wow.
top of the tree, so it would burn.
Like I haven't read anything yet. So, and is this like the #1 most haunted item?
This is the #1.
Whoa! What?
So that's footage of a movie.
Oh, very.
You'll see in the next clip, their left arm goes shooting down to the side.
No way. This one right here?
I wish y'all had a sticker with it. Hey,
Oh yeah.
And it picks herself
That's
up.
wild. That's crazy. And that's this doll right here.
Yeah, that doll right there. This is like, it gets out of every glass case that they try to pull in there.
Josh was just showing me and telling me with the glare and stuff. I kind of walked past it fast, but from the enemy of the house, that's a piece of the wood from the house. Josh, is this from the house?
Yeah, dude. So this is the actual wood of the original house of the Amityville.
Interesting.
I like that.
It sucks that we can't go there.
I know.
Oh,
They'll
I
kill
wish.
us if we went there. I would pay a lot to do it. I would pay a lot to go do the house if I
Yeah,
could.
that would be. And that's cool. Just a piece of the original house.
Think about it. If Ghost Hunters and everyone else got turned down, no one's filming that house.
Now, check out these hats.
She doesn't have any cards right now.
Reed would look good in one of these hats.
You know, one of these hats?
Yeah, dude. I like that one, low key.
I like the green, yeah.
The green's kind of cool. But, you know, all of your rocks.
I might have to buy one. I might have to.
Dude, you might have to, man.
Look at this.
That one's a little crazy. The green one reminds me of Riddler vibes from Batman.
Oh, yeah,
Straight
yeah.
Riddler vibes.
Yeah.
I'd kind of get rid of that stuff going
I
on
would
in the
wear
back.
this to like a Celtics game. Like, this is something I'd wear.
That's the Irish hat, you know?
Yeah.
Cool stuff, though.
Mars, and they're talking about Penny. But Penny's up there.
Oh, it's above.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is cool. Even the Jigsaw one up there, Chucky.
Yeah.
I wish I could do stuff like that. I'm not
Yeah, bro.
draw like
You gotta
that.
believe in yourself,
Just
man.
believe. I used to do cartoon characters, and I just did that. But $15 for them. Honestly,
How about the human tail?
yeah. Let's do it with the human tail.
This is a human tail. Every so often, nature makes a little mistake, and someone is born with a tail. The singer Kesha was actually born with a human tail.
Really?
Yes. This is from a German fellow who his fiance said, "I love you to death, but I'm not going to marry you until you get that thing snipped off."
Wow.
So that's where I came in. I said, "Listen, I heard about your situation. I'm willing to help pay for your surgery if I get to keep the tail."
Wow.
It's
Yeah.
the tail. I think that's the only legal way you can buy a piece of tail.
Yeah. No kidding, huh?
Oh yeah, a lot of fun.
That's
This
interesting.
Here is a human skull. This is our recent piece. This was used in dark black magic rituals.
Really?
Yes, to the point of the part that's missing.
Yep.
They turned it into a sacrificial dagger and used it.
Wow.
Really bad things were happening until it was removed. It sits in our living room now, in our parlor.
It's an interesting piece for sure, right?
We have hundreds and hundreds.
Really?
There's so many things in our house that my wife, who over there standing there, we have a paranormal team as well. She's never even seen some of the stuff that's in the attic. There's mummified human heads, all kinds of crazy stuff that she's never even seen. I've been doing this for years.
Wow.
Helping people out that have problems, as well as collecting the weird things.
Oh yeah.
And things like that. For instance, this is an original Giovanni Bragolin. Have you ever heard of the Crying Boy paintings?
I have not.
Okay, the Crying Boy paintings come with a legend that any house that they're in burned to the ground, but the painting remains. If you Google it, you'll find tons of information on it. Supposedly, back in the 50s and 60s, when Bragolin was painting these, he was painting these orphans that roamed the streets and would paint them crying and exaggerate the eyes. Well, the orphanage burned to the ground with the orphans in it.
Really?
And that's where they say the curse came from the burned orphans. And
interesting.
I got a phone call from an art dealer who said, listen, I have an original, not a print, an original Bragolin, and I'm afraid to put it in my gallery.
Yeah.
It's in my storage locker, and I'm afraid that's going to burn to the ground too. Would you take it? And she's like, I'm going to warn you now, it smells like smoke because it came from the state that burned to the ground.
Wow.
So we brought it into the house, and we keep it next to our pellet stove. I don't know if it's taunting it or helping it.
Yeah, right?
I personally do not believe in the paranormal.
Okay.
I want to.
Okay.
I've just never had anything happen. Now, if you were to say you saw a ghost or something happen, I'm going to say, you know what, I believe you, but why the hell wasn't I there?
Yeah.
I don't say, oh, it's bullshit or anything.
Yeah,
It is what it is. I just haven't experienced it. I believe it. I want to believe it.
That's interesting.
All kinds of crazy stuff. And everything has a story. I mean, these are lobotomy tools right here. This here is a prison shank that you can obviously tell was used.
Yeah.
These here are glasses from a little girl who was brutally murdered back in the late 60s, early 70s, and went into police evidence, and strange stuff started happening in the evidence locker, and until they were removed. Once they were removed, everything went back to normal.
Wow.
Yeah.
So with all this stuff, and nothing ever happens at home.
Nothing has ever happened.
That's interesting. That's really
We've
cool.
got all kinds of crazy stuff. We've got a full-size Civil War cooling casket in the house.
Interesting.
It had probably hundreds of bodies in it.
Wow.
Nothing has ever happened. I drive a hearse every day. The
Okay.
hearse that's out front. I don't know if you saw it.
No, I did not
that's
see
ours.
it.
And this is what we do. We help people. Like this here is a mirror. This is a scrying mirror that belonged to H.P. Lovecraft, famous American author.
Yep.
Supposedly used for his magical stuff. This above it, this painting is Mephistopheles. Now the artist, when he was painting this, somewhere in between, something happened. He sliced his wrists. He started painting in his own blood.
That's his own blood.
That's his own blood that you see staining the painting around there. And he bled out and he died during the process. And every single house that this has been in, crazy bad stuff has happened.
And now it's in your house.
And now, actually, this is the one piece we cannot keep in our house. Not because of paranormal reasons. Our dog does not like it.
Really? So that's interesting.
She will not eat if it's in the house. We've tried various experiments. We brought it in the house without her knowing. Same thing happened. She wouldn't eat. Took it out of the house. She started eating again.
Really?
Yeah. 2 or 3 days. She won't eat. Take it out of the house. She'll eat again.
So would you say that is your most questionable piece that you would have?
Nope, not for me.
No, not for you?
My wife says, that's proof. That's all you need right there. And I'm like, well, maybe she smells the blood.
Yeah, that could be it.
Scientific.
Yeah?
I don't know.
See, I like how you look at everything that way, you know?
I believe that anything is possible, just not probable.
Yep.
But I don't discount it. If you say you saw something, you heard something, I believe you. But why the hell wasn't I there?
Yeah,
you know?
no kidding.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I appreciate you sharing all
I don't
this
know
stuff.
if he told you about the Conjuring board.
Yes, he did say that.
Guilty.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Guilty.
You know, and the boards, I've never touched one.
Okay.
I've never touched a board. Part of me, and I'll admit, I'm a little nervous to touch a board just with stories about it.
I hear you.
But so part of me wants to so bad.
They are
Human foot and a human brain.
Yo, I gotta ask, where'd you get the brain?
The brain, from a friend of a friend of a friend.
I like that.
So Andrea Perron's about to go on. We got everyone sitting in the back corner. We got it locked down. She's about to come out. Josh is super excited.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what's going on.
There she is. Only a picture. No.
That's Andrea, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Google images.
Good. So, Andrea.
Thank you.
All yours.
Thank you. The Warrens came to our house 6 times.
over a year. We lived there for 10. So there were many things that happened in the house after they departed under adverse circumstances, which of course were not represented in the film. The film made it look like they came in, made everything, healed it all, made it all better, and then, left us to our own devices. However, I'm not trashing The Conjuring. For what it was a good film. A really good film. I mean, other than The Exorcist, it's the highest rated, most compelling movie in the genre, and has been seen, The Exorcist had like a 40-year jump on us, and it's right there up with the same response worldwide as that film got. So I'm grateful for that, and I'll tell you why. 2 reasons. If not for that feature film, that blockbuster film, my real story, our real true family story, would be languishing in obscurity like a million other books. That's a fact. A feature film will catapult anything to an entirely different level. But the other thing is that The Conjuring left people with very distinct impressions. 3 impressions. Good conquers evil. Love conquers fear. The Perron family experienced an extreme haunting that they all survived. All of that is true. So in the grand overarching story, that's correct. All of that is correct. All the details and the minutiae were conjured in the minds of a couple of screenwriters who were so traumatized by reading my books that even the fear-based carbon unit executives at Warner Brothers said, oh hell no, we cannot make a movie that people will literally run out of the theater and not even watch till the end because they are traumatized. No, we can't do this. So they cherry-picked from the Warren's files and from my books and created their own 3rd story. And that's what The Conjuring is. There are terrible things that happened at that farmhouse while we were there, but it's called House of Darkness, House of Light for a reason. Because you see, as many things that happened in that house that were mind-blowing in terms of the supernatural, metaphysical aspects of it, it was also the most wonderful, most enlightening experience of my life, and my mother would tell you the same thing. Is there something beyond our mortal existence? Yes, there is. I have the empirical evidence. I lived it. Now, this isn't wishful thinking. This isn't belief or faith, although I will say that living in that farmhouse instilled a deep, abiding faith in me, because when all hell was breaking loose in that house, one thing and one thing only stopped it dead, and that was invoking the name of God. Dear God, help me, is all that it took to stop it. Every single time, without exception. Every single time. Are we alone in the universe? Absolutely not. We're so not alone in the universe, it is mind-boggling. Because here's the truth of it. They are no more alien to this world than we are. We are here as a partnership with them. I don't refer to them as alien. I refer to them as our galactic family. The first experience that I ever had, the first conscious contact that I ever made with those above us and who also cohabitate with us on this planet, happened when I lived in the farm. You don't have to go to any haunted location to experience spirit activity. It's all around all of us, all the time, period. I have had the torch passed to me. I didn't want the torch. I did not want the torch, okay? Let's get really clear about that. When Lorraine Warren passed, she found a way that was absolutely bizarre to reach out to me and tell me that there is real evil and that she had been the one holding it at bay in the paranormal, metaphysical realm for 60 years. This happened when I was 60 years old. I just turned 63. Now, what she basically said was, she and Ed started doing their work on planet Earth the year that I was born, in 1958. So I was already born into this and came, as all of us did, to this planet at this time, because each and every one of us has a very specific job to do, a very specific message to impart, and a mission to fulfill. All of us. None of you wandered in here by accident. Every one of you was called to this event, was called to this group, as birds of a feather do tend to flock together. And we are all flocked up. Oh, I almost envy the willfully ignorant among us, you know? I mean, they got it kind of easy. They're just cruising, you know? Even if they're struggling, they're cruising. They're not having to think. We are the thinkers. We are the ones that go deep down the rabbit hole and then look up and come back up for air with our eyes wide open, because nothing's the same, because we understand that we are not alone in the universe, and we understand that Spirit is with us and around us at all times, always, ever present like God.
I'm going to give you a little bit of insight and a little different take on that. So we're all looking forward to that. Christopher Ardina, 4 p.m. in the Speakers Hall.
Knock it out of the park. I know you will.
It was so nice to hear you again.
I can ride with Joe.
Yeah, just run with Joe.
I'll ride
Very
with
nice to meet you.
coming.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for letting us know about this. You know, because I don't know if we would have came, but I didn't really know about it. I heard it once, but
Yeah.
yeah,
No, you were supposed to be here.
yeah.
You were.
We all were.
We all were. Absolutely. We're all flocked up. Don't forget it.
Oh yeah. But hopefully we can meet again too.
We will. Absolutely.
Have a
We
good
will.
one. Yes, absolutely.
That was good, dude. That was really good.
It was good.
Like I didn't get to get everything, but like with what she said though, like, wow. What'd she say at the end?
Leonard Cohen. There's a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. That hit.
That was powerful. That was really good. The message was very good.
Just said all of our goodbyes. Don't know if I'm actually coming back, but we're all going out to eat right now, for the ones that can come. But yeah, super cool day. Got to see Andrea again, which was always awesome. But just seeing everybody in general, Cody, Satori, Jen, Madison, Josh came out today, so that was super dope. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it was really cool. And this is Plain Ridge Casino, home of my first Paracon now. And yeah, let's go eat.